Let's cross to our correspondent in Jerusalem, Jordana Miller. Thanks for joining us, Jordana. So what comes next for Israel?
Well, I think that's the big question this morning. We know that the Israeli army has publicly now for more than a week said that it is preparing its troops for a possible ground offensive. Even just a couple of days ago, we heard the head of the Israeli army, General Herzi Halevi, in recorded messages in a video to soldiers saying, we're preparing to put your boots on the ground inside Lebanon to help change the security situation once and for all. What will allow Israeli residents who fled the north almost a year ago to come back to their homes. So I think, the big question now is, will Israel actually put that plan into action? Will they send troops across into southern Lebanon? Are they using it right now as a kind of leverage and threat as they continue their aerial campaign? Because as we know, there is a U.S. effort underway to get a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, despite the dramatic events this weekend and the assassination of the head of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, and several other commanders, including Iranian commanders. So we're going to have to wait and see. But it's worth noting that once Israel goes in on the ground, it is an entirely different situation. Israel has had the momentum and the upper hand now ever since we saw those pagers exploding in the hands of Hezbollah operatives. And now, if they go in on the ground, it is a much trickier and difficult battle, right? Israel needs to go in to villages, which now have been mostly evacuated, but likely are, there's likely Hezbollah fighters there. They know the terrain much better than the Israelis, and it would, mire the soldiers in a very, very difficult fight. So, many analysts here in Israel believe that Israel will hold off on that ground incursion until they've done more damage from the air. But the truth is, I think Israel has surprised the world with its steps, one after the other, which have, really leveled serious blows against Hezbollah. And so, all of the predictions that Israel may wait may be wrong. We could see Israel go in sooner than we think.
All right, Jordana, and how have Israeli people been reacting to Nasrallah's death?
Well, I think Israelis, are celebrating the death of Hassan Nasrallah. Remember, this was one of Israel's arch enemies, one of the world's arch terrorists. He'd been leading Hezbollah for 30 years. He was responsible for many, many deaths among Israelis. He kidnapped Israeli soldiers and provoked the Second Lebanon War back in 2006. And he is the arm of Iran on Israel's northern border, right? Iran supports Hezbollah, trains them, arms them, funds them. And so, I don't think there's anybody here in Israel that is shedding a tear that Hassan Nasrallah is gone.
Thanks for speaking to us, Jordana Miller, there in Jerusalem.